This is very loosely based on the story of Hansel and Gretel and the breadcrumb trail and the gingerbread house, but you do have to age them a little bit to the age of consent, or I'll be out of a job when this goes out. Ill-mannered lovers had nibbled away at Witch's gingerbread mortgage for years. After sex in the leaves, they believed it was fine to spend some time gnawing on her good nature, rotting their teeth on her sweet bricks and mortar, making the walls a little bit shorter and the roof leak. Many were never seen again after their fooling around, but not a crumb of proof was ever found. After being left in the forest with no GPS by a stepmother with depression and stress and a father who had always been oppressed, Hansel and Gretel helped themselves to a free lunch, which, as we all know, only exists in fairy tales. Witch found them no better than any before, except that this woman made her wetter. She needed to explore her, as she watched the way her tongue slid over the glass and how she smeared sugary fingers on the curve of her ass. So she invited them in, came on to Gretel, and together they settled on a plan. It wasn't that Gretel had no feelings for her brother, it's just that they were as black as the end of the world, and seeing him caged by a witch's rage made her feel empowered. The fire twisted beneath the blackened stove, it drove the sound of Hansel's screams away. Witch swayed and stroked it with such love, for she had reared it from a baby pot and loved it with the remnants of her heart. Hansel's tears fell on the stained cage floor. He called for the sister he had bullied for years to set him free, but the debris of shit he had spread through her life and the needles he'd knifed through her spirit stayed to replay and replay in her mind. He had made her believe she was invisible, a fictional nobody in a fairy tale who incidentally had the intelligence to leave a breadcrumb trail, but he wouldn't give her credit for that. He insisted that she was fat. Fatter, fattest. He scribbled on her dreams, screamed in her face, grated her personality, caged her in a very dark place. It was all too loud a voice and gave Gretel no choice but payback. The girls dressed for dinner that night, just in their flesh and a flush of lust on their cheeks. For the first time, Gretel was appropriately touched. They made noisy love around the cage, even upstaged the begging and sorries for all he had done, the misery he had caused, the endless hurts, all torn, frayed words. Witch added herbs, beautiful curses, and Hansel to her stove, dusted him lightly in breadcrumbs, freshly retrieved from the step-by-step how to return to your stepmother's web. Stove writhed with frustration, but patience, as you know, must always be encouraged in a stove. Hansel drove Stove wild with indigestion that made it question whether a vegetarian option might contain less toxin. Then it fell quiet from its wild inside screams, and Gretel realised her forever dream, released her bruise, broke his words and washed them smooth with a woman's tears. Fears flowed away. She birthed a defiant smile, knowing that now she was an only child.